Okay.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I welcome everyone present here to this webinar, and I sincerely thank Kriya University for supporting this webinar. I would now like to introduce our first panelist. Yeah. So I would now like to introduce our first panelist, Mr. Jitin Chawla, who is an eminent career counselor. He's an MBA graduate from one of the topmost business institutes of India, Faculty of Management Studies. Mr. Chawla is the founder and director of North India's oldest and topmost career counseling firm, Center for Career Development, which is again located in Delhi. Within a span of 21 years, he and his team of counselors have done almost 36,000 plus workshops, 360 plus career fairs, and counseled over 1 lakh students. He's also a member of National Career Development Association, United States of America, and participates in various conferences across countries. I would now like to introduce Ms. Rachna, who's an outreach manager at Kriya University. Rachna is a marketing professional with over 7 years of experience in student acquisition, outreach, business development, and affiliate marketing. Developing educational institutes while also helping young students discover and achieve their dreams is what drives her professionally. She has worked with institutes like IFIM, Group of Institutions, ISBR Group of Institutions, Acharya Bangalore Business School, and Vijay Bhumi University in the past, during which she has counseled thousands of students and parents. She is passionate towards women and child welfare and a strong advocate of sustainable living. I welcome you, Ms. Rachna. I would now like to introduce Mr. Avinash Raju Panakal, who is currently work, yeah, who's currently working with the Millennium School, Dubai, and he's a first-year student at Kriya with an aim to pursue a major in economics and a minor in business studies. His interests lie in debate, public speaking, entrepreneurship, and innovation. His ambition is to become an entrepreneur, following in the footsteps of his father. He loves working out, listening to desi music, go karting, and reading. Hit him up anytime on the Ambassador platform to have a chat. Yeah. Jitin sir, you may take over from here.
Thanks a lot, Shivya. Thank you for the nice introduction. People, I'll just give you the background to this entire conversation. See, this webinar specifically, we wanted to highlight a lot of changes which are happening in the education industry, and you all know that NEP, that is New Education Policy, came in. So the idea is that people can study in whichever way, more of a, I would say, liberal education. So even if I'm taking up physics and maths, I might take history along with it. Or if I'm taking, let's say, bio, I can study, let's say, I can study political science also with it. So I can make my own combination. Increasingly, if you look at careers also, they are not careers which can be viewed in singularity, or I would say alone, but combinations. For example, fintech, finance and technology together, computational linguistics, that is computer science, language and psychology, uh, computational biology, data analytics and bio. So the way careers are changing, a lot of careers are amalgamation of two or three areas. It's not on one side. Hence, there's a need for education also, which prepares you on multiple sides rather than focusing on one side. I can see some students have started communicating. Hello, Aditi. Welcome to the show. So, so with that context, we thought let's do a webinar where we talk about this, where we share newer options with you, and of course, Kriya University believes in doing it, and they'll be sharing in some time what is what. So, I'll just share a small presentation with you, Sarthak, if you can help me. Yeah. So, like health informatics. Now, what is health informatics? I'm sure you use some other app to book a doctor's appointment, to talk to a doctor online, to do so many action which otherwise would have required a visit to a nursing or a hospital. So basically, IT and medical field. So how you can use informatics to deliver better medical help. So that is what health informatics is all about. In the last 4 years or so, there are more than 300 startups in India in this field. Yeah. So So if I'm a bio person, I would find this very, very exciting, where I'm able to combine bio with informatics. Yeah. So my message to students also is to not to dismiss areas straight away. So when I would speak to typically, let's say in 11th class bio section, and I ask them, so how many of you interested in computing? Like not all the schools, but quite some schools, they would say, look, we are more onto bio side. But today you will also need to know computing if you're looking at health informatics or computer aided drug design, computer aided drug design, any of these. Next, please. Yeah, next. Hi, Rajneesh. Welcome from DPS Dubai. It's good that you have joined in here. We'll talk of a lot of emerging options. Virendra Kumar Singh, design and mass communication. So you can take up a mass comm degree side by side. You can pick up a small UI UX design course. You can combine. You might become a person who specializes in, let's say, YouTube analytics or certain other areas also, depending on your need. But yes, both can go hand in hand, and there is a need for such professionals in top ad agencies. Like I have somebody who's working in Dentsu is a Japanese advertising giant. Similarly, O&M or Julian Mather, or maybe companies where you would just be working in the brand management department. Next, please. So, a lot of these new careers which one can understand and then plan it out. Computational biology. Now, what is this? Computational biology, also referred to as bioinformatics, is a combination of data analytics and bio. So, you might say, in the next 5 years in South Africa, how many lung cancer cases will be there? Or in the next 3 years in Jammu, how many diabetes cases will be there? So you are trying to take past data, put them in some kind of a model, and trying to predict. So that is the field of computational biology. Yeah. So of course there can be other uses also, but basically you are trying to play around with data and trying to predict things which are like biological results. Next, please. I think you jumped. Yeah. Yeah. Again, for bio people, I'm kind of covering bio just because why I'm covering bio, because I feel a lot of bio people, they would still think of two, three main options, medical, biotechnology, few biomedical sciences, some BSc. So, but bio side also a lot of amazing options have come. Like this is a university in London, UCL. They have this wonderful course, Medical Innovation and Enterprise. So surprisingly, they teach you areas like entrepreneurship, finance, marketing, management, data interpretation, which is all management area, and they teach you bio stuff also. So on the bio side, they will teach you like basics. I mean, understanding gut, liver, understanding so basics of that also, and decide and how to innovate. So that is what makes this course very different and very, very emerging compared to normal courses. After this, I would imagine that you will be doing a medical startup. There are so many startups in India also, or in fact, all over the world actually. So I've got one or two questions. Surya Thomas says, I have taken bio with informatics. What are the different job opportunities? Yes, Surya, I'll just tell you. You can join organizations like Infosys, TCS. They have bioinformatics divisions who are working with large pharma companies. Then there's this lady in Pune. I'm forgetting the name of her company. They do a lot of subcontract research work from companies outside. So that kind of company also, which is into research, but they will use informatics to plan out research and so on. So you could work with them. You could work with insurance companies. You could work with some people who are just using data analytics in the biofield, like Optum Healthcare. So Optum Healthcare is a subsidiary of United Healthcare of US, very large company. So Optum again works with various corporates. Also, they have a division where they would try to predict for each area. So Optum Healthcare is something you can look out for, or similar organization. There are a lot of data analytics firms which are operating in the world of bio. Animation course, yes, you can look at animation courses also, but the prospects in terms of salary might not be that great. So that is a slight challenge. I would say, Priya, that you could look at BFA, let that be a base course, and side by side you can keep on doing animation. So that's how you can look at it. Virendra is saying, my dad is adamant for engineering, but I don't like it. What are some exams for designing? So UCED is the biggest exam. UCED you can use to get into IIT Mumbai. NID Ahmedabad is a big exam. So NID has its own exam. Then you can check out like Triple IT Delhi. They have very good design plus computer science. Again, entries to UCED. So UCED is one of the biggest exams. Like if you are in 12th this year, it's already over for you. Normally the forms come out in October and the exam happens sometime in December or at the most Jan. So like UCED is over for this year. UCED closes around early November, sometimes because of Corona, slightly November 15th kinds. Yeah. And then of course, you can look at other institutes also and build up, but the government institutes are through UCED and NID. What courses would you suggest for commerce student in data sciences, quantitative? So Satya, you could look at BBA business analytics. So a lot of universities do business analytics courses. That is one. It is the format is BBA business analytics. Data sciences typically you would have people with a tech or a science background getting in. Finance again, like government institute like Sukhdev College of Business Studies, they do BBA finance and investment analysis. You can check them out. Sharik is asking, since most successful startups are tech, which course can I? So, Sharik, it's not you need to know usage of tech. So, I would strongly recommend Google Digital Garage. Google Digital Garage, they call it data. Earlier, the name was Data and Tech. So, Google Digital Garage has 156 courses. You can take like Data and Tech would be about 60 odd courses. So, you can take a few courses which you would like, and then you can build up. Is designing a good course? It depends on which institute. If you do it from some Tom Dick Harry institute, it is not a good course. But if you do it from top maybe 15-20% institute, it is a good course. Development psychologists are concerned with how, like from a very young child, one develops into an adult, and then you become a geriatric, you become old. So it checks all the aging related behavior, abnormal changes, emotional development, everything. Yeah. So they might be working in various hospitals, they might be working in senior centers, daycare, or various other places also. They might also be handling teenage, depending on which area of development of this thing you are focused on. Yeah. So that is how development psychologist is. So maybe I'll cover more areas after some time, but I gave you a context to this entire program. I've also given you ideas about like how, like I would speak on fintech after I come back. I would speak on computational linguistics. So again, amalgamation. What are these joint career options which you can look for? I'll just take last two questions. Aerospace, Adish, is more of a government job. So somehow when we are young, we are all fascinated by space, and typically a lot of young people, when I've been doing schools for quite some time, they want to do something different. Yeah, they say, I don't want to do computer science. I don't want to sit on a laptop and do this stuff. I want something really different. But actually in aerospace, if you are working, a lot of people will be sitting on a laptop and playing with mathematics and physics equation. You will not be watching stars, you would not be watching asteroids or tracking asteroids. So it is not like that. You would not be going to the space. Maybe you will go in once in 15 years. Yeah, just check how many people have gone in the last 20 years. Yeah, you will get an answer. So so of course I don't want to discourage that, but I'm also concerned that there should be a commercial opportunity, there should be something which you make decent money and so on. I was just speaking to a student 3 days back. We had sent him to US top university, and that time he was so excited, so we put him into a nuclear sciences course. But right now, fourth year, I only helped him take up informatics minor, and now he's going in to go for a uh, computer science job. Why? Because he needs a good job. He needs to grow up, and in fact, he's working with a analytics firm which is into finance area. Yeah, a lot of my batchmates were engineered from top institute like IITs, DTU, and all. They joined two sectors. 90% of them, finance. So Citibank, Amex, Standard Chartered, top all over the world, and consulting, Deloitte, KPMG. So I mean, it depends. Sneha, biotech again is not so, I would say, well paying in India. So if you're going to go to some other country, yes, but in India, maybe not so well paying. So you have to think about it and then you can plan. Uh, Automobile engineering, Adish, uh, automobile, aerospace are typically, I would say, it just comes out of our minds. A lot of peer influence also. Also, we have seen movies like Fast and Furious. Uh, you know, uh, how many versions are there, Adish? Fast and Furious. How many versions are there? Just write on the chat. Or you have seen this transporter kind of movies, and yeah. When I've gone to Auto Expo, like it happens now in Expo Center, I went last time also. I also love to watch automobiles. Whenever I've gone to the Auto Expo, wherever new cars are there, a lot of dazzle music, so a lot of people around. But wherever engines are there, there is not a single soul, zero. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, Sharik, you're absolutely right. Nine. Adesh, nine. I think the tenth one is still coming. Yeah, our panelists can tell us. Our young panelists can tell us. Avinash, any ideas on this?
So
Thank
I
you.
guess it's coming, but yeah,
Nine
will
only,
be
na?
pretty cool. Yes,
Nine.
so
So Avinash, earlier I used to tell students that if you don't know, like generally not now, I would say it's a changed word, but if you would have visited schools with me 8 9 years back, I would have said that you're not a real boy if you don't know about how many versions of Fast and Furious are there. Yeah, that's a slightly loaded this thing, but I used to do that earlier. Oh God. Anyway, Sharik says their movies are not good now, sir. But so coming back, Adesh, so you have to wait, or imagine you are in Bajaj Auto or some Maruti Suzuki. There's a assembly line process, and you are standing there and trying to work on quality, or you are doing there's some manufacturing process you are handling. Yeah. So do you want to do that? What are you excited about when you think automobile engineering? Are you creating auto parts? If you want to design cars, probably go for automobile design, not engineering so much. Yeah. So you'll have to really figure out what do you want to do in that. Then you can come on to this. Juveria says interior designing. Juveria, do you think that you are a person who's visiting sites and every day you are fighting with the 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 guy who makes furniture, the guy who does POP, the guy who sets up lights, the mason who's kind of putting up the walls together? Yeah. So do you want to do that? If yes, you can think of interiors. So you need to kind of visualize what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis. Some sites like career one stop world.com can help you do that. Yeah. And other queries will take after some time. We'll just take other queries after some time. So now I'll invite Ratna ma'am and Avinash to speak to you guys and share some idea of how education is shaping up at top universities like Kriya. Rachna ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chawla. Great insights on different career options. That is very much needed. As much as we have spoken about it, I think this particular conversation needs to keep going, and students need to keep revisiting this whole idea of breaking unconventional career options, and in general, try and understand why it is important to not live in a world of silos, because that's what I'm going to begin with. As the team kindly introduced, I'm the manager outreach, and one correction, I have with me Avinash, who is an alumni of the Millennium School, Dubai, and is a current student at Kriya University. He's in the first year. He's from Dubai. Before I begin with the presentation, I'd like to understand how many of you here have heard of the term liberal education, and what do you understand by that term? So, have you heard about liberal education, liberal arts and sciences? And when you hear this term, what first comes to your mind? What is the first thought that comes to your mind? What do you think this is? So, if you could put it in the comment section, that will give me some idea as to what the audience thinks or perceives liberal education to be, and then I can build upon that in my presentation. So go on, students. Tell me, have you heard about liberal education at all? If yes, then what do you think it is? And what do you think the term liberal arts and sciences means? Tanmay says unbounded education. Wonderful. That's amazing. Any more comments before I can tell you what I have researched? It is very right, Tanmay. You are very right. Unbounded education, of course, with the term liberal, of course, one can understand that liberty means freedom, and the entire concept of this mode of education is to give you the freedom of choice. Now, this sort of education has come to a country like India or even Asia now in the last 5 6 years. Yes, Rajneesh says education without silos. Ribu says no clue. No worries, Ribu. We are here to enlighten you with whatever little we know. Surya says combining arts with mainstreams. Rajneesh again says bio plus design. Wonderful. Keep them coming. And I think, Avinash, you can also engage them in the comment section. Very interesting thoughts. Yes. So where was I? So yes, I was telling you that this mode of education has now been accepted in countries like India and even Asia in the last, say, 5 8 years. But did you know that this is the oldest mode of education, of higher education, that ever existed? So, right from the beginning, the only mode of higher education that existed and the West has adapted is of liberal education. So, this is not some alien concept that we are trying to adapt to, but this is what all your cousins who've gone abroad to pursue their undergrad, postgrad, whatever, they've gone to do liberal education, and that is what it is. It is a blessing that we have universities now in India that are formally providing degrees in liberal arts and sciences. So, have you all heard of this famous Greek scholar called Pythagoras? If yes, just type a yes in the comment section. Have you heard of Pythagoras? We've all studied Pythagorean theorem, right? Though I have no clue what that was. I studied it in my school. But you've heard of this scholar called Pythagoras, yes? So he said that for any individual, Rajni says obviously. Okay. So for any individual to have earned a higher education degree, he or she should have learned 4 scientific arts. Okay. Listen very carefully to the terms that I'm using. Scientific arts. So let's go back a little. Do we associate science with arts? We don't. The minute we listen to the term arts, we think of fine arts, right? We think of cinema, we think of music, we think of drawing, painting, sculpting. So these are all fine arts. But the term arts here in the title, liberal arts and sciences, means a practiced principle. It means a learned skill. So Pythagoras said that for any individual to have been accepted as a graduate, he or she should have 4 scientific arts. They are astronomy, music, math, and geometry. I'll repeat: astronomy, math, music, and geometry. You can see the difference in the subjects here, right? So these 4 subjects were called the scientific arts. Well, that was one theory, and then they went on to adapt it. And after a couple of years, people realized that with these skills alone, or with the knowledge of these subjects alone, an individual was not able to survive in whatever he or she took up as a career post graduation. So what they did is, to these 4 scientific arts, they went on to add 3 arts of humanities. Those 3 arts of humanities are the rhetoric, grammar, and dialectic. I repeat: rhetoric art form, grammar, and dialectic. So what are these 3? I did not explain the first 4 scientific arts because we all know them. Now, rhetoric art form is what I am doing right now. I am using a persuasive mode of communication with you. So I'm trying to persuade you into believing what I think is right. So when an individual tries to use this art form, it's called rhetoric art form. The second one is grammar. Grammar is something that we've all studied since childhood. Every language is nothing but a group of scattered words without structure. So grammar is what gives structure to any language. The third art form is dialectic. What is dialectic? So in modern world, it's also called as the art of debate, when two individuals come together with different opinions and are trying to put across their opinions in a very respectful manner, backed by a lot of research and data. That form of art is called art of dialectic. Now, the four scientific arts, along with these three arts of humanities, together started off as the seven liberal arts and sciences. That's how the liberal arts and sciences as a division was established, as a broad division. All right, so this whole misconception that arts is, limited to humanities or social sciences is all a fundamental myth that we should break, and which is why I started this conversation by giving you the history. So historicity is one of the guiding principles of Kriya, which is what we believe in. We believe that any concept will never be completely understood unless we know the past, present, and only then we'll arrive at a calculated, near future of it. Yes, with this, I'd like to present to you Kriya University. I am going to share my screen. Just let me know once my screen is visible. Avinash, give me a heads up. Yes?
Yes, we can see the screen. It's loaded. Yeah.
All right. So Kriya University is based out of Sri City, which is in Andhra Pradesh. It's about 70 kilometers from Chennai. Chennai is the nearest metropolitan city to Sri City. So Kriya University, one second, I think it is taking some time to load. All right. Yeah. So the School of Interwoven Arts and Sciences is what offers the Liberal Arts and Sciences division at the university. So this was established in 2018 by a group of thought leaders who came from various backgrounds. We have an entrepreneur, a business leader, a finance leader, a scholar, an educator. Dr. Raghuram Rajan, who is the former RBI governor, Ms. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Dr. Anand Mahindra, Mr. Manjul Bhargava. If you are a maths enthusiast, then you know that for any individual to have received the highest academician award is when he or she receives the field award in mathematics. So Dr. Manjul Bhargava is a recipient of that award. So diverse thought leaders came together with one vision, that is to make education available to everyone. So fundamentally, we want to break the silos. We want to break the silos of thoughts, of streams, of regions, of any barriers that have kept you away from deserving the education, the quality of education that you truly deserve. So this is a philanthropic university, which means that it is not owned by a single person or a family, but this was established by these donors who collectively donated 750 crores into the establishment of Kriya University. The core values that Kriya has adapted are of ethics, excellence, inclusivity, and accountability. These are fundamental not only to the student fraternity, but any association that we choose to have at Kriya, be it recruitment to a partnership with another vendor or a third-party organization. We ensure that our core values are kept intact no matter what. So the entire ecosystem of Kriya basically consists of the School of Interwoven Arts and Sciences. That is more relevant to you because that is the school that offers undergraduate programs. We've had IFMR Graduate School of Business. That is a 25-year-old establishment that offers post-graduation in management. Apart from that, we've had international research centers like LEAD, EPOD, CDFI, JPAL that have been around for 50 years. We also have a Center for Writing and Pedagogy that is the only center of its kind. It offers academic writing and research writing workshops, not only for the Kriya fraternity, but to any organization that approaches us, we conduct these workshops for them. So collectively, under the Kriya umbrella, these are the organizations that are functioning at the moment, and the entire knowledge ecosystem. It's not a university, it's a knowledge ecosystem that has existed for over 50 years now. So the IFMR Graduate School of Business offers post-graduation programs in management across 22 courses, 7 disciplines. We've had 500 plus students and 30 plus faculty members. Moving on to the School of Interwoven Arts and Sciences, we offer BA honors and BSc honors across different divisions. We have the Division of Humanities and Social Sciences, the Division of Literature and Arts, and the Division of Sciences. You can pick and choose major and minor across these 3 3 divisions. So we also have a fourth year of advanced studies for students who wish to stay back and pursue a fourth year. Otherwise, these degrees are of 3 years. We've had 400 plus students and 80 plus faculty members, making it the healthiest student faculty ratio, which is of 1:6, equivalent to some of the leading Ivy League schools in the world. So the approach, the pedagogy, the learning pedagogy that Kriya University, and the title of this entire webinar, if you must have seen, is of interwoven learning. So this is a term that you will come across any communication that Kriya as a university puts out there. Interwoven learning will be mentioned there. So as the students popularly call it, it's called the I word. Now, what is interwoven learning? At Kriya, we believe in a holistic approach to education, which is based on a set of guiding principles we see that are essential for a transformative and cutting edge college experience. So the 8 guiding principles that you see on screen, any course at Kriya is going to be writing intensive. It is going to be research based. It is going to have interdisciplinary elements. Ethics, as I said, is one of the core values and a guiding principle, because it is not only about the knowledge that you have gained, but it is also about what you are going to do with the knowledge. Whether you are ethically sound and you understand how to make use of the knowledge that you have ethically. Historicity, as I said, the evolution of ideas in a discipline. So various disciplines, what are the concepts, what is the history behind this, is what you see. Data analytics, again, is a very important guiding principle. And immersive learning. The last guiding principle is my favorite, which is of curiosity. We, as a university, encourage our students to have a sense of curiosity throughout life and ask as many questions as possible. I think here I'd like to pause and invite Avinash, because I am presenting to you, but Avinash is living, breathing interwoven learning, has been doing that for the last 6 months. So Avinash, what do you have to say about this entire approach when you were looking for a university, when you were in your grade 12 and you were looking for a university to join undergrad? When you heard of interwoven learning, what was your first thought, and what do you think of it now?
To be honest, I didn't know what interwoven learning exactly meant, because I've heard words like multidisciplinary approach, interdisciplinary approach, and those were things which I saw only when I went for educational expos and educational conventions and those kind of events. But later on, when I did some research, I got to know that interwoven is when you learn about something from the lens of a different field of interest or a field of subject. And at that point of time as well, I genuinely didn't understand, how I would be learning about a certain course or a certain subject using another subject, and it simply did not make sense to me. But after joining and after having gone through, my first trimester, and currently I'm right about to finish my second trimester. Uh, we've been exposed to a lot of important soft skills that you call, which are important as part of 21st century and to be available and suited enough for the today's very dynamic job market. And as part of that, we've always been learning something new and how to be more innovative. And as part of that, it's always been trying to expose us to different subjects that I personally didn't even know. And everyone over here can see on the screen that ethics is a very important aspect of Kriya. In fact, in my first trimester, ethics was a subject that I had to study as part of my coursework. And all this is actually interwoven, that every day, in everyday life, the different concepts we use are actually made as subjects over here, and we're exposed to it. We go through it, we literally experience it. And that's when you get to know the importance of all of this and how it actually amounts to making you educated enough about whatever you would like to study. Even in my during the admissions process, during my interview, one of the members of the faculty had asked me, why do you want to study here, despite knowing that you might have to take a major in economics and do a minor in philosophy, or you might have to study philosophy in order to pass your degree to get your major in economics. And that's when I got to know the real value of interwoven learning, where everything is connected, and there is a certain aspect of something in another thing, and that's how you can be the best at what you want to pursue in. And it's all about getting a new fresh perspective on everything that's around you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Avinash. So the idea is to approach this interconnected world, because world now does not operate in silos. It operates. It's very much interconnected. So you cannot operate in that kind of a world with a conventional siloed approach. Hence, interwoven learning. Moving on to the faculty. The faculty of any university are the backbone of it. Similarly, the faculty at Kriya are not only multifaceted and come from universities like Oxford, Stanford, Harvard, but you have Professor John Matthew, who is a double PhD holder, like most faculties at Kriya. One from Harvard University and one from Old Dominion University, one in biology and the other in history. He's also the director of the choir group at Kriya University. Similarly, we have Professor Anil Srinivasan, who is a world renowned pianist. He's played with the likes of Dr. A.R. Rahman, Mr. Ilayaraja, and he teaches the STEM courses with music. He teaches math with music. Similarly, I'd like to urge all you students to look up to the website, the Kriya website, and have a look at the faculty profiles. Each of these faculties have a stellar academic and industry experience, and you will come out of it extremely thrilled and inspired. I think it will be absolutely unfair if I do not let Avinash talk about his faculties. So, Avinash, why don't you tell us a little about the faculties at Kriya and what has been your experience with them?
Well, to be honest, I have never felt that they are teachers or faculty, or there was that distance between them and us. Right from the admissions process and even from the orientation week, or a week before our classes actually started, we had a fun session with all professors where we could ask them literally any question. It was a very relaxed and laid back session, and we would just have fun with them and muck around, and it was really cool. They've never treated us like we are students and they are seniors. Rather, they come to our level and they're always with us. We can actually reach out to them at any time during the day. We can just send them a message saying that I would like to have someone to talk to. In fact, each student is assigned a mentor specially to take care of them, and as a point of contact for any kind of help or even just to have a chat with them. And the best part is you can contact any professor who's not teaching you. They're all available for you, and it's not necessary that you need to have a conversation with them regarding any issue that you have, or just to ask them for questions or any doubts or clarifications. It can just be simply to have a conversation with them about anything you bond with them over. If your professor is interested in music, you can meet with them and just have a jam session online. Actually speaking, my math professor played the guitar for us during the first session that we had with them. And the best part about the faculty is that they're very approachable, and it's not just that they're very formal or anything. Despite them being extremely distinguished people in their own respective fields, they're extremely humble, and even the coursework as well. It's very immersive along with them, and that way they have designed the curriculum extremely well. In fact, I have Professor Basu, who was shown on the screen for my current trimester, and I have also been under Anil Srinivasan's guidance as well in his class. And the thing is that all of their classes, they're not very typical of the field that you would talk about. So Professor Basu teaches me exploring the social and historical, and I personally think that social studies subjects in history are very boring, and I had come up with such stereotypes before going into class, but it's all made extremely interesting, and it's a very diverse experience that you get in each session that you go for. So I personally haven't had any issues with faculty or any complaints of that sort. Rather, I feel really fortunate to be there.
Thank you so much. It is always very pleasant to hear about a faculty student story. So, the course structure at Kriya, many students have this confusion of how a liberal arts and sciences course structure works. So, the idea is to give you one whole year for you to explore, to discover, to learn certain skill and core courses, and through this journey of your first year, arrive then at an experienced decision. All right. Not based on what your parents think is good for you, not based on what someone else thinks, or not based on what your peers are pursuing, but you have one whole year to explore for yourself, which is the foundation year. And at the end of the first year is when you go on to declare your major, minor, and electives. So there are certain skill and core courses altogether. You have 11 skill and core courses in the first foundation year that you study. No matter what major, minor you go on to choose later, these skill and core courses will help you and will generate a sense of curiosity and an intellectual adventure. And through these courses, you will sort of understand which subject you're most passionate about. That is the idea. Second year goes on to offer your major, minor electives, and so does third year along with capstone thesis. The gap between the first and second year, you are presented with internship, research, and global immersion projects by the Career Services Office at Kriya University. Similarly, between the second and third year, also you are presented with these projects. Now, these are projects that will be curated based on your interest. I will be talking about this in a separate slide that we have for immersive learning at Kriya. But what I'd like to tell you here is the projects that you'll take up after first year are going to be in the social development sector. And the ones you take up after second year will be in the corporate sector, because we want you to get the best of both worlds. So that is the whole idea behind the course structure. So the skill and core courses that I spoke of, the year one at Kriya, which is the foundation year, it is extremely important for any student. You have core courses like literature and arts, mathematical reasoning, social analysis and historical immersion, scientific reasoning, philosophical perspectives across culture, and creative expression. These are the core courses that will help you in identifying your major towards the end of first year. And then there are skill courses that are there to complement these core courses, and these courses together are life skills. These are not courses that will only come handy for your undergraduation or post that, but irrespective of which industry or role you go on to be a part of or you choose to pursue, these are core courses and skill courses that will help you throughout your life. I think, Avinash, you should jump in and talk a little bit about your first year, the foundation. You've just finished a trimester. So do you think these skill and core courses are designed in a way to help you in choosing your major, and how has been your experience?
Yeah. So for me, in my first trimester, I have had ethics as my course. I had written and oral communication, and I also had creative expression. Now, as a person who has a prospect of going into economics and later on doing business, for me, in fact, these courses itself, in the having done them in the beginning itself, gave me a pretty clearer aspect and a viewpoint about what I want to do later on. And let me give you the example of written and oral communication. In that, I learned to write research papers, response papers, proper essays, and that was actually a very valuable lesson for me, because in rest of the courses that I've done, it actually came a lot in handy. And that's the whole point of the first year courses, skill and core courses provided at Kriya, which is to equip us with the skills needed to go on with the rest of the higher education levels that we have. Now, when I talk about ethics and creative expression, it ethics kind of taught me about how it is that at an economic level or at a societal level, when you're a person who has the power to make certain decisions, when you have the power to influence people, and when you're making a great impact on them, how is it that you revolve around different conflicts that you face on a day-to-day basis at various levels, and how to go about them. When you talk about creative expression, in that our main thing was to be more innovative. How do you get in out of the box ideas? And when you talk about and I personally want to be an entrepreneur when I grow up, I would be pursuing a mind in business studies. So that again taught me how important it is that being an out of the box thinker is in the new job market, in the business world. And Anil sir, who is my professor for that, he himself has his own business, and we were actually exposed to a lot of real life situations and objects where we would actually discuss about different things. We were even given simulations where we had to design our own solutions for various societal issues. So all those experiences and those instances of exposure to such matters gave me a clearer idea about what I like and what are my dislikes. And it was a great opportunity for me to explore what suits me, what skills I would like to make use of, and what things actually interest me and things that don't. So that helped me make a more well-informed decision.
Sure. Thank you so much, Avinash. So, moving on to the major minor options that you have at the university, as I said, though we have broadly three divisions, you have 12 majors that you can pick from. You can take up an economics major with a social studies minor or vice versa. And then you have three independent minors. For example, you can take up a major in history and minor in global arts. So, for at the moment, these are the major and minor options that we have across these three divisions. We keep updating our curriculum every year. So until last year, environmental studies was offered as a minor, but this year we've updated it to be a major. Similarly, we keep updating the curriculum based on the popularity and the market requirement. You also have four joint majors at the university. We have physics with chemistry, economics with environmental studies, history with politics, and literature with arts. Um, Moving on, pardon me, my presentation is a couple of seconds slow. So talking about the entire immersive learning at Kriya, as I said, we have a career services office that interacts with students on a regular basis to keep trying and understanding what they like and then get projects based on their interest. So your freedom to choice to choose is not only limited to academics or subjects, but also the internship, externship, global immersion projects that come to you are not a list of companies that you need to choose from. No, based on the constant assessment, they curate opportunities and then bring to you which you need to choose from. For example, I have a student who's majoring in psychology, minoring in literature, but then when the career services office approached her, she said that she wants to take up something in branding and marketing. So she said that she wants to take up
Avinash, I think Rashna ma'am is having some internet issues. So do you mind continuing with the this thing, or you can
Yeah,
probably
sure.
answer the questions that we have, like what is the
Yes.
fees for the BBA in liberal education and so on.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we have a question over here asking about the fees for BBA, sorry, BA in liberal arts education. So we have this facility called financial assistance, where there are different areas, or I mean levels that they've kept depending on the family's income and financial status, based on which you would be getting a scholarship. And it's extremely flexible, very friendly and easy to approach. If you if I mean, per annum it's around 9 lakhs including hostel. And you can, depending on your course, which is 3 years or 4 years, if you would like to take an advanced year, or just like me, and then the family annual income has to be 30 lakhs. If it is above 20 but less than 30, you would get 25% off. If it is between 10 and 20, you would be getting 50% off. And below that, and if it's between 5 and 10, you would be getting 75% off. Below 5 lakhs is 100% financial assistance. There is no quota as such, whether it is for NRIs, or there's no caste-based quota or anything as such. It's purely based on financial capacity. The placements, yes, we do have the career services office which is working on that. um till now we haven't had a batch that has graduated from Kriya. They will be graduating in May or June this year, and that's when you can see the placements. However, we sure do have faith in our office, which is going to be doing a great job with the career placements. So, okay, my honest experience at the university, yes, I've been having great fun till now, and it's genuinely not like the typical Indian universities, which I was worried about, where the whole atmosphere would be extremely orthodox, especially coming from the Gulf. My main idea and my main worry was if everything would be too traditional and strict, but it's genuinely not like that. It's very, very relaxed and laid back and student friendly. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm sorry. I think there was a power cut and I lost my connection. So I'm so sorry. I'll just resume my screen sharing. Avinash, I hope you took over when I was
Yes, yes,
gone.
yes.
You did.
Answering the questions.
All right. Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. So I was talking about the different organizations that our students have been a part of in the past. These are some of the organizations that our students have pursued externship opportunities in. Um, just confirm if you can see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, all right. Okay, so to give you a glimpse of how it is not important for you to pursue a project which is related to your major or minor. So we have students here on the screen. For example, Sahil, Arnav, and Chirag, all three are economic majors. But Sahil went on to pursue an internship with London and Partners as a strategy intern. Arnav went on to pursue a business process internship with DHL Global Forwarding, whereas Chirag chose to be a digital media intern with Social Beat. So this is what I was trying to say, that your freedom to choose is not limited to your subjects, but the projects that you take up are curated and brought to you according to your choice and interest. And both in the first and second year, these projects will be curated based on your interest and liking. So the students are basically prepared for any role. That is how the world outside operates, which we are trying to prepare them at their undergraduation level itself. So partnerships, we have well curated partnerships with all the universities that you see on screen, right from first year fee waiver to 100% summer scholarship. We have different understanding with each of our partners. You will see in our next slides, these are some of our students who have gone on to earn scholarships. These four students earned 100% summer scholarship in international relations at King's College London, and Satvika and Priya in King's College London, but for psychology. Similarly, these four students went on to get 100% summer scholarship from Harris Public Policy University of Chicago in data and policy. And these students won an industry internship scholarship at CIW. Now I'll take you through a couple of pictures of the campus. As I already mentioned, our campus is located in Sri City, which is in Andhra Pradesh. We are a completely residential facility, and you've seen the governing council. So our infrastructure and our facilities are of a global repute. And we do have student spaces, lounges, the cafeteria. We also have sports facilities like a futsal, basketball, badminton court. Of course, the batch of Avinash, the cohort of 2024, has not come to the campus yet. So Avinash will not have a lot to add about the campus. But student life is where, again, I'd like to bring in Avinash. Student life at Kriya is very vibrant. Even when we migrated to online, the student bodies that are 18 plus clubs and also the student government, the constitution, ensured that these activities keep going. And I think, Avinash, you should probably tell us how many activities. I think we do not have a lot of time. So if you can tell us in under a minute as to what different activities you've been a part of at Kriya.
Yeah. So at Kriya, there are a huge amount of clubs, but we're allowed to join only five max because you generally won't have time for more because of how busy it is. But if you want, you can join more than five. I'm there in four clubs. I've joined the social outreach club. I've joined the drama club. I've joined the dance club. I'm there in the gaming club. And over here, despite moving on to online learning, there hasn't been any difference. In fact, we had an improv night last evening at 5:30, where we were just having improv situations on Zoom, and it was hosted by the drama club. It was extremely fun. And even the sports club, they themselves had conducted activities where we had set up our own IPL league on campus. We had set up our own kabaddi league, and it was all online auctions going on. And even the football leagues as well. We had made predictions. We had made our own set of people who were ready to roast each other, and we had an official. It was all officially done. So despite being away from campus or not being able to engage in activities physically, even though we're doing it online, it's extremely immersive and gives us the same feel. So always there's something happening, and you genuinely don't have to worry about the fact that you're missing out on any activity despite being a part of the club.
Sure. I just stopped sharing because the presentation was frozen. So the last section is of admissions, the admissions process at Kriya. We have a very holistic admissions process that consists of an online application. Usually, the window of admission starts in October and goes on till May. So we conduct it in 4 rounds. Round two just finished, and round three would be closing on the 15th of March. So what usually happens in these rounds are you apply. There's an online application that you fill. The application again is quite different from the usual ones. While it does have the usual personal details, academic, co-curricular, extracurricular sections. It also has a section for personal story, where we want to hear who you are apart from your academic and extracurricular achievements, who you are inherently as a person, what do you believe in, etc. So that is something that is unique to Kriya. Once you apply, we take some time to assess these applications, and post that, you are invited. If you are shortlisted, you're invited to the interview. The interview is you're divided into groups. You're presented with case studies around which you need to write a reflective essay, have group conversations, and this is then followed by a personal interaction with a faculty member. You also have a 30-minute quantitative and logical aptitude test in the end. So based on your overall performance, right from your application form to the quants test, an average is taken, and then the results are announced round wise. So this is what happens. We do not have merit scholarships. We do not have any prerequisites in terms of subject requirement. If you have never studied math, you've not taken math in grade 11th and 12th, you still want to pursue a major in mathematics, you're free to do so. So that's the beauty of liberal education. We break free from the shackles of conventional education system. I think, yes, with this, I'd like to close. And I will also put my contact details in the chat section. If you have any questions, you can always contact us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Rachna, and thank you, Avinash. You spoke so well.
Over to you,
I
Mr.
think
Chawla.
students kept on asking a lot of questions from you. Okay, guys, coming back to what we were discussing. So if you look at healthcare sector, again, fitness and wellness, with tech, all these are startups. Sarthak, can you make it slightly bigger? If people like, I'm sure you would have used CureFit. Anybody can write in the chat who's this actress who was a part of CureFit. She's also seen to be a good trainer, and she just got married 2 days back. She's seen to be a health freak also. Okay, she's Bengali. Anybody can write in the chat. Anybody knows about it? She's an actress, though not so much in mainstream cinema, but she has been a part of CureFit. Like Hrithik Roshan also was there, but of course Hrithik Roshan is not an actress; he's an actor. Mouni Roy is the right answer. Oh, Avinash, good. Avinash gets the prize, guys. And she just got married 2 days back. Amazing. So genomics and biotech. See, a lot of these things, tech plus genomics. Deep tech is of course tech, where ML, machine learning, data, big data, these kind of things are there. So these are all in healthcare. Personal health advisory content like Practo is there, Docs app is there. Healthcare IT, which is helping hospitals use IT to to organize themselves. Yeah, and then of course home healthcare. So healthcare sector is really undergoing a big change. Next. Similarly, beauty and personal care. There are so many startups. I'm sure you would have heard of My Glam, then Wow Skin Science, Purple, Mama Earth again grew pretty big. Nykaa has made its founder, in the top league today. So there are a lot of investments in beauty and personal healthcare also. So if you look at like there's a government university in Delhi, DSCU, they have started a course on beauty and health, beauty and personal care. So a lot of skills universities also. Next. So skill-based courses also are coming up. Drugs design, you can take a pharmacy and then go for computer drug design. So again, you're using computing technologies and pharmacy knowledge to build up the next level of drugs. Word over, millions of dollars, billions of dollars has flown into labs so that the drug design, vaccine design process can be much faster. The world has seen what a corona can do to them. Next. BSc LLB, we are trying to combine science and law. Again, a great career opportunity. So you can work with pharmaceutical companies, like they have come out with a new molecule, so patenting that, doing tie-ups. Like a lot of big pharma companies this time, they had tie-ups with large multinationals who researched and came out with the vaccine, but the production was done by them. So things like those. So you will do the contracts. Next. So BSc LLB again is a combination of sciences and law. Certified fraud examiner. So here you are trying to catch frauds. So ACFE is the certification. CFE. Check on Netflix, Dirty Money, China Hustle. You'll understand the kind of white collar fraud which is being conducted. Next. Next, please. I think we can skip. So this is just accounting. So this can be done with anything else. Next, please. I'll maybe cover it later. Next. Of course. So some of you might be really confused and you would not know what to do, where to go. So you can come to us for aptitude testing and personalized career plans. We also help you with the study in India or study abroad options and profile building also. So that is about us. Next. So we have a team of 26 people who keep on working. We also have a YouTube channel where we have put 164 videos. During lockdown time, I spent a lot of time making videos, and which with the help of my team, we have put it up on a YouTube channel. So you can check out it is really helpful. And our Instagram ID is jitinchavla.careerguru. So with this, I would like to thank all of you. You've been a nice, patient audience. We had initially planned a webinar for an hour, but I think we have exceeded that. This is our address and phone numbers. In case you want to connect with us, you can connect on this. In case you need any other help, feel free to get in touch. We are thankful to Kriya University for supporting this webinar, and you can keep on looking for more webinars and sessions with us. So I thank all of you also for attending. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye bye. So thanks a lot, Ms. Rachna and Avinash, for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chawla, for conducting this. I think Sarthak had mentioned we can take a couple of more minutes if there are any
Yeah,
questions.
absolutely. Please feel free. Yeah, yeah.
Sure. All right. So, students, if you have any questions, I do see that Avinash has answered most of them. But if you have any questions for us, to let us know. I'm going to request Avinash to put my contact details here in the comment section. Avinash, for some reason, I'm not
Yes.
able to access it.
Okay.
I can only access the private chat. So
Yes.
if you could put that, all right. Okay. So, students, if you could also tell us where are you from, which school you go to, which grade you're in. It would also give us a sense of the audience. Okay, so placements. Shilpa, the first batch of Kriya University will be graduating this year. So the placement records will be put up on the website very soon. Otherwise, as I said, we've had externship opportunities in the first and second year to all the cohorts of Kriya. In fact, even Avinash has taken up one or two internship projects in his 6 months. So similarly, we do keep giving these opportunities to students, and placement record will be up very soon. Okay, Shilpa's like your experience in the university, honestly. Avinash, have you answered that already?
Yes, yes, I had answered that. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. How many students from the Gulf? This year, we've had a lot of applications, not only from the Gulf, but even from Africa. We have an applicant from Israel, from Singapore, and all over. We have enough number of students from abroad. You do not need to worry about that. There are no separate eligibility criteria for an international student. This is a very common question that students have. So it's the same process for everyone. I think while we are inviting questions, Avinash, since you Bhavna, fees for BBA liberal education. So we only have BA honors and BSc honors. If you want to do a business studies major or minor, we do not offer it as a major at the moment. We offer it as a minor. So you can take up a minor in business studies. Scholarship for Middle East students, we do not have any merit scholarship. We do have financial aid, which is need based, and it is the same eligibility for both Indian and international students. So any student with a family income of less than 35 lakhs per annum can apply for a financial aid. And based on your need, we give even up to 100% plus financial aid, which means that not only your tuition fee, but even your living expenses, your food, all of that will be covered by the university. At the moment, we have 40% students at the university studying on some or the other form of financial aid in Kriya. So we do not have merit scholarships. So otherwise, the fees would be 7 lakh rupees per year for either of these courses, BA honors or BSc honors. I think so. The detailed fee structure, I think Avinash has already put the link in the comment section,
Yeah.
so you can
Yeah.
access it there. Please visit www.kriya.edu.in. I am just going to okay, I think my number is also there. So yes, you can contact us in case you want an individual counseling session, or if you would want us to come present to your school, you can connect us with your counselor as well. We'd be happy to do that. Avinash, any parting words for these students? These are all grade 12 students, is what I've understood from Sarthak. So any word of advice that you'd like to leave them with?
One thing is, especially if you're trying to apply here, please don't worry about scoring, your marks. You're not gonna get judged over here based on your marks. In fact, I had applied in round one. Kriya has 4 rounds of admission, and I had applied in round one, which was during November 2020, and I had gotten admission before my boards were done, and that was extremely, relaxed, and it was least stressful for me when all my friends were very worried about which university to go to, how to go about that process. So that was that. And if you can apply, please do apply during the earlier rounds. When it's time for your boards, you would be extremely relaxed and you wouldn't have any sort of stress to go through. And other than that, yeah, please enjoy and have fun. When you come to college, it's a whole new ball game with a lot of assignments and things like that. But yeah, please, good luck for your boards as well. So stay safe and take care. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I think with this we'll conclude. It has been a fantastic audience. Thank you so much, Sarthak and the entire team of Mr. Chawla for organizing this. And do keep in touch. Yes, I have put in my number and my email ID as well. So just write to us in case of any queries. Thank you so much.